Hola, buenos días. Soy Nico.
Tituba, voodoo slave girl who graced us with her black magic. She couldn't tell a love potion from a recipe for chocolate chip cookies if she had to read it.
And today we are here to end off another wonderful week's worth of content. Well, yes. Where's the Wednesday video? Girl, it was Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Chrysler. Yeah, I know people don't like that video. I still think it's cute and quirky, but yeah, I was not uploading on Christmas. So we are here to end out a week of wonderful content where Patreon is getting 2 videos. Nico, yes, for the holiday season, it's time to give back. But before we get started, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive videos, weekly live streams, and to be a part of the live streams where we have multifaceted conversations with a varied panel with different topics depending on the week. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in. Now, last video's comment, basically talking about the Jagger Rambo, Whitexican, and BBL Buster situation. Somebody basically commented, "Oh my god, I love it when people are turned down by their preferences and get upset at that fact rather than when people make random commentary about their work." And I liked it. Yes, I like the shady comments against them. And it's interesting because, like I said in the previous video, everybody has a clear line of communication with me. So BBL Buster actually engaged with me on this topic. It's interesting because he had tried to work with me prior, so he actually messaged me saying that he was a fan of my content, but he was actually insulted that I did like that comment about the preferences not preferring them and that being the reason they're upset. And he actually went into detail about how he was more so upset because Whitexican created a space for commentary about them when he outwardly said no. I told him in DMs that I personally didn't see an issue with him saying, I'm a fan of your content, but I don't want to work with you. And he basically said, well, he was following Jagger Rambo. He wasn't following me. So him actively saying he doesn't want to work with us wasn't necessary. And I really feel like it boils down to the Texas climate about race and dating. Nico, he basically said that he got the feeling that Whitexican had that superiority complex that a lot of white Latinos do in Texas when it comes to black or brown people of a darker shade, and that was racially coded in some degree when he was denying access to them when they didn't ask. It was someone else that volunteered their names up. And he didn't like that I did like the preference comment. What I will say is, I don't know if that was Whitexican's standpoint. I can't talk about it like that because I'm not him. But once again, I do believe it's fair if somebody's suggesting people for you to collaborate with, if you just say, I don't want to work with them. It's simple, short, cute for me personally, but I do see where someone can take offense. Now, as for the preference not preferring them, I did just go back through BBL Buster scenes, and for the most part, he does tend to collaborate with lighter skinned and or non-black people. So it kind of still fit, even if that's not where he was coming from in his response. But someone actively saying, I don't want to work with you, when that's the kind of person that you typically work with, it stings more, in my personal opinion. But once again, he said that's not where it was coming from, but you know, and I'm not one to say that you have to focus on a specific demographic when filming, because at the end of the day, it's still your body that you're using in your content. But what I will say is, it's okay to diversify. You know, I'm one of those people, I'll work with anybody. I've worked with dark skin, light skin, medium tone, non-black. I personally don't mind it. So I'm like, girl, do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, if it's a pattern, it's a pattern. It's a pattern. It's that simple. But yeah, moving on to the actual video. Mr.Bolden has lost his mind again. Nico, what do you mean? So I did a video like this, actually, I think almost a year ago, where Mr.Bolden basically caught flack because he is a working boy. Nico, what do you mean? He is an escort. Yes, he tends to work for hire, if you know what I mean. And he basically was working at a Republican convention and said that his mighty black lovemaking could turn the tides of the racial, inequality seen in government and stupid shit like that. I remember that one in particular. I'll put up a picture because I actually have a screenshot of it. Basically, I talked about that and how he lost his mind, and I feel like he's lost his mind again because as of late, he was saying, I'm in my old stomping ground, I'm back in Atlanta, who want to work, I'm ready to work with my homies again. And then he said 5 minutes in Atlanta and this is what I'm getting. And he posted a highly racist caricature of a black person saying, hey, do you want to link up? And Mr. Bolden baffles me. I'm sorry, let me take this off my head. Mr. Bolden baffles me in a strange way. As in, if it was just simple anti-blackness, as in you hated yourself because of whatever factors in your life, whatever media you've consumed growing up, I'd understand. But in his situation, he films with mostly black people. His fan base is mostly black people because every time I talk about him, outside of the one time he got into it with Jay Knight because Jay Knight leaked a video of him bottoming for the first time and Mr. Bolden used to be a strict top on camera, it's always been in correlation with anti-blackness, and I'm not understanding. And I understand black people basically trying to get over on you when it comes to Super Happy Adult Fun Time. Nico, what do you mean? I've talked about it in previous videos too, where yes, this is a commonplace thought of a lot of people, but I've actively seen black people saying, I would never pay for adult cinematography. There's so many leaks, there's so many free videos. Why would I ever pay a content creator for videos that they're actively putting effort and energy into? So I don't come on here and pretend like I don't understand where he's coming from, but he is just consistently doubled down. Let me say on that particular situation, like I don't understand where he's coming from in that exact moment because I've seen it firsthand. But he's just consistently doubled down on anti-black statements and anti-black viewpoints and aligning with like Republicans and pro-white standpoints when he films with mostly black people. Like that's what's warping me because I'm like, if it was a situation where he just did not work with black people, I would understand where to keep him mentally. Like when you see him on camera, I would understand where to keep him. But him, it's confusing because he works with mostly black people and just consistently degrades and like disrespects his black fan base and people that want to work with him. I don't get it. Tell me if you've seen this online too, because once again, I'll link the videos I've done on him. I always do because I'd rather just show you the information than, hearsay. But I'm not understanding where he's coming from with this. Like, has he always been like this? Because once again, he only came into my blip when I first started doing my YouTube channel. I actually did not know who Mr. Bolden was. So I'm being quite honest. I don't really watch his films. So to see that when I was doing research that it was mostly black bodies on camera with him, but he's consistently disrespecting dark skin, it's confusing to me. Like I just don't get it. Because normally where there's one, it would be another effect. Like you would see it in his content, but that's not it. But I definitely want to hear your opinions down below. Do you believe it's more of a featureism thing? Do you believe it's because the people that were hitting him up recently had more Afrocentric features that he put out that racist caricature? Do you feel like it's still stemming from the fact that a lot of black people said that they do not want to pay for his services and that they do not want to pay for his content, but would rather pirate and or steal it? Because once again, I'm not going to be obtuse in this conversation. I've had black people tell me to my face I would never pay for adult content. Luckily, my fan base is black and brown people. The people that support me on like my other sites, my Super Happy Adult Fun Time site as well, it's mostly black and brown people. I do have some white subscribers. I do have some non-black, non-white subscribers, but it's like my core base is black people. So I'm really honored that people support me in that manner, but I'm not going to pretend like I haven't heard that rhetoric from us. So I want to hear your opinions down below. How do you feel like we should navigate Mr. Bolden, seeing as how he consistently says these things about black people when a lot of his fan base and a lot of the people he collaborates are black people? Like, I feel like we should be offended. Like it's very offensive, like the stuff that he has been saying. But once again, that's all the information we have at hand, and I'll leave the conversation up to y'all because it's leaving me in a stupor. I genuinely don't know where to put him. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Boop. it's leaving me for a oh, and once again, I said I was going to clarify the things that BBL Buster said in this next video, so we had a full-length conversation, but I went back to remember what he said exactly to clarify, and I saw he blocked me, so I don't know if he hates me now. I just want to say, once again, I don't have any beef with anybody. I just cover what's online. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Boop.